about why I am choosing to become an entrepreneur, okay? So this isn't my first go around. I'm not just like, oh, I want to be an entrepreneur now and have to figure out how to do all of the business stuff. I've been doing this stuff for forever, since college. College is where I started kind of realizing entrepreneurship would be a good avenue for me. And if you hear baby noises, it's my baby. She's with me. She's just chilling on the floor. So let's get into this though. So college was the first time I started getting into entrepreneurship. I minored in entrepreneurship and emerging enterprises for a little bit, and was trying to get just really involved in entrepreneurship to, like, I guess, trying to just figure out the ropes and figure out what I needed to do to start a business. I didn't really learn how to start a business. I was just surrounded by people that were interested in the same thing as me, and I guess that was pretty good too. So moving from that, I started the DCW Kimberly, which is design consulting with Kimberly, and I had a couple clients in college. Not anything big. It was just like making logos here and there. I think I had about 4 people in the span of like 3 or so years, but that was just helping me build my expertise in graphic design first and foremost. That's like reason number 1 why I wanted to become an entrepreneur, because I could tell that I was not learning what I needed to learn just going to school. And so in order to be a graphic designer, which I did not go to school for, I knew I had to get experience somewhere, some way, somehow. And how was I going to get experience if people weren't letting me do the work, you know? So getting hired for the work was how I was going to practice. And that's what happened. So let's see. Moving from that, I also saw the flexibility of entrepreneurship being something I wanted. I have another video back from, I think it was like 2015, 2016, where I talk about not wanting to work a normal 9 to 5. And I actually did accomplish that for a little while, but you can't do it for long in this world, you know? But I'm trying again. So moving on from that, those 2 things, teaching myself the things that I wasn't learning from other people, the flexibility of entrepreneurship. And also, like, the biggest reason is because so much pushback with having full-time jobs, and the authority figures in these full-time jobs, they just don't know how to be bosses. I've had so many bad bosses, so many bad supervisors and managers. And I'm just tired of it, to be completely honest. And I'm going to go more into that a little bit later. There's a 2-part video. I'm recording this a little later than the beginning part because I needed to give you guys some backstory. Let me think is there any other reasons why I chose to become an entrepreneur? Those are the main ones. And it almost came very natural. I think growing up, my dad was very business-minded, though he didn't use, well, I don't really know how much of it he actually used, but it kind of just comes natural for me to figure things out on my own and think about how I can do things better, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So it wasn't a hard, like, reach for me to be like, I want to do that. So let me get into the next part, talking about iterate a little bit and talking about my experiences in jobs, which was really the determinant for me really saying, all right, I'm going full time because I'm tired of this, I'm tired of that. Okay, and then there's another part. So the stories I'm about to tell you, they are only just a handful. Just a small little handful of the most memorable ones. And I say that to say, like, don't think that I just made this snap decision. No, this is a 5 years of just trash. And I'm thinking about making a series of how I got that job and how it ended up. If that sounds interesting, let me know, because I've had a lot of jobs. So stay tuned for the next part. Today I was going to talk to you guys about me going full-time with Iterate Design Collaborative, LLC is my business name. I have a huge big picture about what I want my business to be, but zoning in right now for Iterate Design Collaborative, okay? But I'm gonna tell you the backstory. But first I'm just gonna sell to y'all real quick. Iterate Design Collaborative is a design and education based studio that focuses on mentoring young people so that they can channel their inner creative and not be starving artists when they grow up. It's not a thing. And we do marketing, communications, graphic design, and interior design. You can see our projects and more details about what we do at iterate.land. That's https://iterate.land. Okay? There's that. I'm going full time for this reason. Let's back up. Let's go all the way back. I don't know how far back. Anyway. As you all know, I went to school for interior design. I graduated in 2016 because it took me 2 extra years because of the fact that I went into college without a portfolio, like an art portfolio. And so I spent the first year, 2 years? Yeah, I spent the first 2 years like doing my like basic, you know, the required classes and taking art classes to build my portfolio. I applied to interior design and architecture school. I didn't get into the architecture school. One, because I could not pass pre-calc to save my life. But then I did get into the interior design school. And so their sequence is strict. So they wouldn't let me, you know, it's just strict. You have to do it first, like for these classes are first semester, these classes are second semester. You couldn't take like first semester classes during the second semester, so I had to do extra 4 years after I had already did 2 years. So I have a degree in interior design, but while I was in the interior design school, I got an internship doing graphic design at this really cool folk art center. Like it's a Black-centered, Afrocentric art center, and I was their graphic design intern at first, and then I became their marketing specialist. Dope job. Very dope job. But is this the first? No, this isn't even the first time where I've just realized that me and authority don't mesh well. Me and other people just, if you're not going to treat me with respect, then I'm not going for it. And I am oftentimes very misunderstood. And also the way people perceive me, whether most of the time when I am being positive, it's just other people's interpretations bode not well for me. And I'll explain that. I would say the first time where I felt I was just very uncomfortable being in a workspace was when I had a bunch of jobs in college, but one in particular was working as a delivery driver for this place called Calzone's, and I told them to call me Kim, I think, and they just kept calling me Kimberly, and they did it out of in a joking spite way. It was just a bunch of white boys working there, and I just let it slide, but after a while it just pissed me off. And there was one day where I accidentally locked my keys in the car while I was delivering a thing, and they made me, and it took me forever, and then when I got back, they were just mocking me and being rude to me. And then still, I don't know, I just quit. At the end of the day, that was the first time I was just I'm not about to just let people talk to me the way they want to talk to me, you know? And the bigger time was when I was working at the folk arts center, and I really enjoyed that job. People, my higher up said that I was doing really well at that job. They gave me a lot of autonomy to do what needed to be done within the space. I even got to buy desks for the interns because we had a very disheveled space, and so I just wanted to make it more functional for us, and they allowed me to buy desks and stuff like that. And I was doing really well with the marketing because I had to do our exhibition signage and plan out how the social media was going to go and all that stuff, and I just really enjoyed the job. But there was a point where I also started this social experiment, and that's kind of where it started to turn for the worse. this was so long ago. I'm trying to figure out what the where it just went wrong. Can't pinpoint it right now, but I just have to say this. I was really close with the higher up lady. At a certain point, there was just tension, and tension just rose and rose and rose, and it ended with me leaving. I'm a very ambitious person. I am very like steadfast in what I like and what I want to get done with my life, and I feel like a lot of people can't understand that. When I'm like pushing forward and I have all these ideas and I want to work with people and blah 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 blah, they look at me like I'm crazy or like I'm fake or something. I don't 100% know, because nobody really tells me straight up, and when they do tell me, it's very negative, and it's also based off of their own perception. Like I've had this twice. People say that I'm combative and I'm aggressive, which is hilarious, because the way I'm like right now is the way I always am. If there's a conflict, I address it. I'm not like, I don't shy away from anything. When I want something done, it needs to get done. There's no aggressive in there or combativeness. It's being assertive and knowing what you want and knowing what needs to get done. And if somebody disrespects me, it's not me being combative, it's me addressing the situation and letting them know that it's not gonna happen again. It's the typical angry black woman stereotype. Is a typical people not wanting to respect black women. That's like simple, straight up to the point. Like, I don't understand it. I'm not going to entertain it. But that's what happens to me on a regular basis. Girl, if you only knew, you as like I flesh out these videos, you will see the pattern of, you'll get to know me better. You'll get to see these situations, and you'll be like, well, goddamn, one, you probably have gone through this stuff too, and you didn't really know how to handle it, and you just brushed it off. Or two, I don't know what the two is, but girl, we about to get into it. Stay tuned to these videos. This is just one of them. And I'm trying to, okay, let's keep it moving, okay? So I kind of just want to fast forward because I have a lot of background stuff, but I think I could make a video of each one individually to flesh it out. So, but just in general, why I decided to go full throttle with going full time with my business as an entrepreneur is this reason. I've been freelance since like 2012, right? These last 2 jobs that I had, I'll even say the last 3 jobs that I had. The third, the one that was the latest that I had was working remotely for like a nonprofit based in Portland. It was a dope job. I got to travel and work from home, and the hours are pretty good. But the boss was not clocking me for nothing. Like, the first time I met him when I went to Portland, he was like, oh, hey, what's up? We are a team of 8. If you don't be personable with me, what? I just brushed it off. This was before I had standards for how people treat me, how people of authority treat me, okay? And so I brushed it off, and it kind of stayed like that. Just a very blase relationship with my boss, who was very like a team of 8. So all of us are more close than like a big corporation, you know? And so eventually everybody leaves that company. And I'm the only one there because I'm like, well, I just started. I'm not about to it's hard to find jobs out here. I don't know why people be thinking like I could just quit and find another one. It's not like that for me. I don't have a huge network, stuff like that, so I stayed. And I did my job. I did my job really, really well. And I think because I was the only one there, it made him have to like actually pay attention to who I was. And he at the end of the whole thing, he gave me like a very casual review, and he said he appreciated who I was as a person and blah blah blah, some good stuff. I still quit that job to go work for the city of Atlanta because it didn't pay me enough, and he wouldn't pay me enough. But it's probably also because the company was like going down. So moving from that, decent job, didn't pay enough. Boss was not looking at me, until he had to. Don't like that shit. That's not the vibe that I put off. No, it's not okay. City of Atlanta, I was so excited. I was getting paid more than I had ever gotten paid. I was moving back to Georgia. I was happy. Trashiest job I've ever had. Just what 0 to 0 out of 10. Don't recommend at all. I don't recommend working for the government to anybody at all. Problems from the gate, from my coworker, not from the bigger picture of the not the company, not the government, but coworker, thinking that she could come in and run to the place. But we started at the same time. We could have easily worked as a team. It wasn't working. And then, then it went on to my coworkers. Me over here sitting, trying to do my job. Me being excited to create brands for the city. To be just, I was the senior graphic designer. So it was like a friggin' dream job. And I was working for the planning department. The job for that was working for neighborhoods and planning and city stuff too. So just like right up my alley. Co-workers. The biggest problem with design is that people don't understand design. And so when you come in with ideas that they've never heard of, or you know what you're talking about, they want to be like, no, that's not what we want. No. So a lot of times you just have to do what they say and then like give them an alternative. And at that point, I didn't give them alternative. I just did exactly what they wanted to do, since they weren't listening to what I was saying. And then they went behind my back and had somebody else do it. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Communication is first and foremost in everything that we do. And you couldn't just been like, oh, okay, this is what we wanted, but we don't like this. So let's try something else. That's all they had to say. But no, instead they're like, oh, okay, cool. Let's see what we can do with this. It's okay. And then 2 weeks later, they have this whole new logo. Okay. And then that's not even the top of it. That did peeve me, but I was just like, and I told my boss, nothing happened. Nothing. There was just nothing. Nothing came of it. But guess what did come of it? Because I think he did talk to the person. I had a meeting. Look, you know when they put those meetings on your whatever, You're like, oh, okay. I thought it was just them wanting to talk about a new project that I had that'll started, because this was literally 2 months after I had started. So I'm not expecting to be in trouble when I didn't do shit. I was excited. I was pushing hard. I was doing everything that I needed to do, And so I come into the meetings. I asked my boss, because we're sitting there waiting for everybody else. I'm like, what is this about? Is this a new project? And he was just like, no. And he just wouldn't tell me. That's the thing about these stupid ass meetings. They just want to keep you in the dark and then just like sucker punch you. Not about this life. And then they come in there and telling me, oh, it seems like you are possessive over your work. And some other stuff that I can't remember right now, but it was just like negative. No positives whatsoever in the conversation. It was just based off that one conversation that I had. It was starting a project with that one coworker. Y'all don't even know me. Y'all don't know nothing about no design. And y'all want to come at me and say that there's something wrong with me. Okay. That was strike number 2 in terms of me like, okay. But I was not aware. I wasn't who I am today. Adding a little bit to this, negativity is like a huge theme in my whole career trajectory too. I have not received a lot of positive feedback, positive reinforcements in the work that I do. The first job I had that I just talked about, with the art center, that was the most that I had gotten. And of course, I get the job, I'm at the job, I do good work, but when I do like 1 or 2 things wrong, I'm just like ostracized and I'm treated like crap and like fired or let go or just reprimanded severely, and that's not how it should be. I'm never giving room to learn. That was the main point of me saying this. I'm never allowed to make mistakes and given room to fix the mistakes and or learn or taught. That is not a thing in my career trajectory. So I just kept trucking. And I'm like, these people don't give a fuck about who I am. Like, as a person, these people don't give. And the other thing about that is, like, even when I try to do my job, people want to get in the way of me doing my job. They don't want to listen to me. They don't want to take my advice. They just want me to, like, be a fucking drone, like a robot, and just do as I'm told. And if I'm not doing it the exact way that they want me to do it, I don't matter. Oh, ma'am, excuse the hell out of me? Because the other thing about that is, like, it was my coworker too, who I was on the same level playing field with. She even admitted, she was like, well, I'm just not used to people having different opinions. Well, get used to it, girl, because I'm here. And it is what it is. I'm not being negative towards you. She even said that I was, like, getting in her way. You getting in my way, but not even letting me be a part of the fucking team. I am one of two. If it's not me, it's just you. And that's what you want, but that's not what it is. Okay? Moving on from that. Because of that one meeting, they're like, okay, go see the work counselor and see how they can help you assimilate into government working for the government. I go to this dude. I'm thinking I'm gonna get support and understanding and stuff, and essentially I did, but not really. As it seemed like he thought that I had low self-esteem, and that's all he did was, like, frivolous, like, oh, you look nice today. Oh, let's just talk about surface level regular stuff. But we did get into it a little bit sometimes, and he just said that it might not be the right place for me. And I'm like, okay, I get that. But then COVID happened. And so I had to work from home. And that's when a whole bunch of other mess started, leaving me to have to take a leave of absence for work because I got really sick, not COVID related, which is another video. And when I finally was able to come back to work, they put me on, like, a PIP, which is like a review. They make sure that you are actually able to come back to work and, like, work at the level in which they want you to work. And I'm like, yeah, I can. This stuff, the thing about it is, like, they act like this stuff is hard, but it's like, it's not the work. It's the fact that you have to assimilate and put yourself into this little tiny little ball in order to just work, in order to just go with the flow with the company. You don't matter, to say the least. And when I say you, I mean, like, this is exactly how I felt when I was dealing with these companies. It's just, I don't fucking matter. Do the work, do it exactly how I want you to do it, and that is it. Okay, moving forward from that, I supposedly passed the PIP that March of 2021, but then August comes. I am recovering from my previous sickness. I am now pregnant. My dad is sick. I'm dealing with a lot. And these motherfrickin' I'm dealing with a lot, but I'm still doing my job. There was never a point where I'm not doing my job. There was also never a point where anybody's criticizing how I'm doing my job. The PIP was like a criticizing, constructive criticism situation. But it was like, I wish I could remember, but some of the things were, like, extremely petty. People were saying I was bad at communication. Houseway. Keep in mind, the last job I was at, my supervisor said I wanted too much communication, asking for more frequent one-on-ones while I was trying to learn the job. So, is it too much or is it not enough? Please let me know. Look at the emails. Other people are worse at communication than I am, and I just have to brush it off. And when I tell somebody about it, they brush it off. But when I just, like, forget to send, like, one yes or one okay or some shit like that, it's a problem. I get let go. While I was pregnant, 5 months, having pregnancy complications, dealing with my dad literally on his deathbed, I get let go. No reason whatsoever. I didn't pass the PIP. The PIP was in March. This is August. I didn't pass it. You should have let me know in March, shouldn't you? Editing Kim here. Keep in mind that I am talking about years of what I felt like was mistreatment from my workplaces. I'm not going to be able to explain every single detail so you can get it. So be kind, have grace for my explanations, and don't try to jump to conclusions like, oh, it was your fault. Because at the end of the day, my feelings matter. That's one reason why I'm saying this why I'm talking about this anyways, because a lot of times people try to prove me wrong, and it's not about being right or wrong. It's about seeing how I feel about these situations, seeing how they impacted me, and helping me through it, trying to fix it, blah, 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 which is what my jobs did not do. I'm still unpacking this stuff, okay? So there's some stuff that I'm listening to, and I'm like, oh, I'm like having epiphanies as I'm watching them, but I can't like keep adding snippets, so there you go. Anyway, moving forward from that, I go through my pregnancy, I give birth early, I'm on my paternity leave, I'm single. That's another story. So I'm over here like, how much more time I got? How much more money I got before like, I need to get another job, you know? So I finally, thankfully, get another job the next year in April. I'm excited. These people look happy. I'm getting to work for an agency. Oh my gosh. Cool. I've never done this before. I've never got paid this much before. I'm happy. I'm excited for what is to come. I want to learn all of this so I can continue to work for agencies. Okay? Because I'm finally surrounded by designers. Maybe I can finally grow constructively around other designers. Girl, let me tell you, I was there for 5 months. I think maybe week 2, realized my supervisor wasn't ish. A month in, I'm like, I'm working harder than I ever worked ever in my day in my life, and I haven't done any graphic design in like 6 months. Okay, I'm learning. I'm pushing myself. I'm learning as quickly as I can, but the training is not training. It's like, okay, go. I told you I was new. Can you? Okay, I'm gonna get it. Rah, you did this wrong. It's only been a month. I am new. Can you relax? You're gonna give me a chance to actually get used to it? Nope. So eventually I do get used to everything, and I'm just trucking along. I get an intern. Happy, super excited to get an intern. The best part of my day is talking to my intern and teaching them the stuff that I've learned at that job, and just in general with getting jobs and stuff. They go to my old alma mater, whatever you want to call it. So happy, excited. I finally tell my intern how long I had been there before they came. 2 months. I got an intern 2 months in. And they're like, what? It seemed like you've been here for forever. I'm like, I know, right? I had to learn quickly. I had to learn very quickly. And there was a hiccup there was like this big project, but it was like a volunteer project, a pro bono, whatever. Disrespect from a teammate. Me doing all the work. Everybody else, like, at first there was like 1, 2, 3. There was 4 art directors for this project. Then they all disappeared and it was just me. And I'm like, I just got here. And now I'm in charge of this whole project. I didn't even start. I didn't even have this idea. Even she's gone. Okay, I'm gonna ramp up and get it done. This is what I got for right now. Okay, so I've never done this before, so I'm doing my best. Dude that didn't do any work. Rah. Excuse me, you haven't done anything. Why are you trying to come at me when I'm over here? I did your job. Okay, copywriting. Okay. Take a deep breath. I'd be like, look, we need to be more organized. I'm gonna need y'all to get your ish together because you're not gonna talk to me like that. Blah, blah, blah. Let's move on. Get into the next project, the next meeting about that project. Let's set some expectations and let's move forward positively. Ends bad again. Ends bad with the person being mad that we're not accepting their idea because their idea is not all that it could be. Gets angry. Has a little sidekick that wants to get angry with everybody when it's not even about them. Okay, whatever. I'm good. For one, the project idea, it was interesting, but nowhere near did I want to lead it. I was just leading it because I was literally the only one. And then there wants to be unnecessary conflict in it, and this is voluntary? No, thank you. I didn't choose this. I didn't choose to be a part of this. I didn't choose to be verbally accosted just because you want your idea to be heard and used. No, I'm good. That's that whole, if it doesn't serve me, I'm gonna step to the left. You don't wanna allow me to lead once again. It's been a pattern in my freaking life. I'm good. I'm not about to repeat a pattern anymore. It's not that serious. So I bounced up out of that little project. And then that's, I feel, when things started to slide down with this job. And I'm just like, I can't make a decision that appeals to people and that doesn't make them want to like fucking treat me like a fucking slave. And some real ish. And you don't have to agree with the way in which I dealt with any of this stuff. This is just how I think and how I dealt with it, okay? And so, because there's parts that you just don't know, and I'm doing my best to explain it. But I'm just saying, with this job in particular, not a great supervisor, conflict that I was trying to handle in a good way. Other people's perceptions of whatever. They can think whatever they want. Should have stayed, didn't try to work it out. I did that already. I did it twice. Make a fool out of you, make a fool out of me. What third time? There is no third time, you know? So, and then it just went downhill after that. And now I am self-employed. Because I'm tired of people of authority making me feel like I don't matter. Make me feel like I don't deserve to get paid a living wage and above. I don't deserve to be stood up for. I don't deserve to be able to speak my mind and speak up for myself. All these things that they don't think I deserve. I'm not about that. And there's other parts to it where your job is probably your job is probably playing you and you don't even know it. And we're gonna get into that. But I'm just tired of the mess. We need money to live. But hack the motherfucking system because you do not have to be treated like shit in order to fucking live. There are options. They only teach us one option so that they can get their money. But we ain't about that life. Or Kim ain't about that life. And I'm gonna show you how. And keep in mind, I'm still young too. I'm still learning, as you can see, and I'm just at that breaking point where I've been like this, and now I'm like, fuck all that. We about to move up in this way. We ain't about to move down in this way, up in this way, because we've been going down for too motherfucking long. I will say this though, I've had all these experiences and they have not been the best, but they have given me little bits and pieces that I want to take with me moving forward. Pay rate, we're going to talk about that. Those benefits that they be giving you, okay? Those are the two main ones, but because you can't really navigate other stuff. Like, I'm not the one to talk to if you have issues with your supervisor, okay? I'm not the one to talk to if you have issues with a coworker. Like, I can give you advice, but as you can see, good advice doesn't work for everybody. Everybody else's perception does not mesh with logic. It does not mesh with common sense, because common sense ain't common. So that's what I got for now. That's like my work experiences and what led me to work for myself. Iterate is not a new idea. Before, while I was in college, I was like design consulting with Kimberly as a freelance designer. Post-college, I was clear design consulting and, doing my thing with that. I switched over to Iterate Design Collaborative in 2019, got a business license in 2020, and just recently made it an LLC this year. Now I'm making the steps to expand, business credit, blah, 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 all that stuff. So we're going to be talking about that stuff. We're going to be talking about interpersonal relationships. We're going to be talking about everything because this is life. This is life, okay? It's not just business. Everybody is in business, and business is your life because you can't live without it, okay? So I'm going to say this to say that. We done. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like it if you liked it, subscribe, and follow me on Instagram because I'm very active on there too. If you want to follow my business account, that is iterate.land. You can also check out the Iterate website. If you know anybody that needs some good, clean, effective design, have them schedule an appointment with me and we can talk about it. Okay? And I'll talk to you guys next time.